I'm here today to talk with the client regarding how well the product has fulfilled the specification. So, Ms. Faust, this is really just to talk about how well, in your eyes, the product has fulfilled your criteria and the design specification. So I was going to ask you a series of questions in order to ascertain an impression of what you think of the product through the scale model. So the first question, what is your first impression of the finished model?
Yeah, it's nice. It meets the criteria that I asked for. It's rustic, it's unique, it's really nice.
So how does it compare with the design visualised before I started making the model?
Yeah, it does. It's practically the same, although I thought there'd be more intricate carvings around the edge. I thought there would be a little bit more of them, or they stand out more. And the contrast of the colours, I didn't expect that to be quite so different, but I like it.
Okay. So in terms of functions, has the product succeeded in what you hoped it to achieve?
Yes, it has. Yeah. The Lazy Susan is functional. It's easy to reach, although I'm not sure about the pegs. I think they spoil the look a little bit, and they might collect a bit of dirt around that area. But yeah, on the whole, it's really nice.
Okay. So is the size and shape appropriate for the space available, which is the space we're in now?
Yes, it is. It's perfect for 8 people.
Brilliant. Does the model show all the aesthetic features that you hoped it to portray?
Yes, it does. Although, as I just mentioned, I thought the carvings would be a little bit deeper. But yeah, it does meet the criteria.
Brilliant. Looking at the scale model, would you be happy to pay around £700 to £900 for a full-scale working version of the product?
I would, but I would prefer it to be in a more natural-looking wood as opposed to a hardwood that's been used.
So, does the product look and feel easy and comfortable to use?
Yeah, it does. The Lazy Susan's easy to reach from where you're sitting. You've got plenty of storage space in each section, and it's functional because the heat plate in the middle, well, you can put your food on it and keep it warm.
Brilliant. So earlier we did a bit of testing with the product. Did you find all the mechanisms easy to use?
I did. The only thing was when you lifted 2 of the panels up at the same time, they crossed. So that can only be done one at a time. The pegs worked, but they're just not nice to look at. I think they spoil the look of the table.
Does the product seat as many people as you require it to?
Yes, absolutely.
Looking at the finish on the scale model, do you think the finish, which is a wax and a polyurethane varnish, do you think it would help prevent against stains and damage to the actual wood of the table?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I think it's quite durable.
Yes, as I showed in testing.
Yeah.
So the scale model is made out of stained plywood. Looking at the quality of the finished plywood, would you say that it looks authentic?
Yes and no. I'd prefer it to look lighter and more natural as opposed to darker. But yeah, it does look quite authentic.
So, if some smaller, less obvious components were to be made out of made out of a stained plywood to lower the cost, would you be happy, or would you prefer the whole thing to be hardwood?
No, the whole thing to be hardwood.
Okay. Final question, Miss Faust. Is there anything you would change if I were to make the product again and going forward to improve the product?
Yes, I would change the hinges, definitely, because I think food can get caught underneath them quite easily. They'd be hard to clean. The plate in the middle needs to be larger because that will only heat one dish as opposed to a few dishes. And the pegs, they need to be changed because they just spoil the look of the table.
So you mentioned the hinges. Are you fine with them aesthetically, or do you find them unattractive aesthetically?
No, they look nice, but they're not going to function well.
Okay. As a final measure of how well the product's gone, Miss Faust, what would you give the product out of 10?
An 8.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Miss Faust.